In today's video, we are going to rank the biggest financial mistakes you can make in your 20s. And if you are currently in your 20s, congratulations. You are standing inside the financial equivalent of a haunted house, except every ghost is a monthly payment, and one of them is named DoorDash service fee. Now, before we begin, let me be very clear. Not every mistake on this list will destroy your life. Some of them are just small financial bruises. Some are learning experiences. And some are the kind of decision where your future self appears in your bedroom at 3 a.m., pale, exhausted, and simply whispers, "Why did we finance the rims?" So we are ranking these mistakes into 3 broad categories. You'll be fine, bad financial decision, and finally, financial doom, which is when your money doesn't just leave you, it files a restraining order. Enough emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
Let's begin. First up, buy now, pay later. Or as I like to call it, I cannot afford this today, but maybe future me has been hitting the gym financially. Buy now, pay later is one of the most elegant traps ever created. You see a $3,000 laptop. Your brain says no. Your bank account says absolutely not. Then a little button appears and says only $167 per month. And suddenly your brain goes, oh wow, free laptop. No, pumpkin, it is not free. It is still $3,000. They just chopped the corpse into smaller pieces so you would feel less guilty carrying it. The real danger here is not just the payment, it's the false sense of affordability. Because once you split one purchase into installments, your brain starts getting creative. Shoes? Installments. Groceries? Installments. A hoodie? Installments. A toaster? Installments. At some point, your checking account becomes a Netflix queue of bad decisions. Coming this Friday, $19.99 for something you forgot you bought 6 weeks ago. Buy now, pay later is not automatically financial doom, but it is definitely a bad financial decision if you are using it for things you simply cannot afford, especially everyday purchases. If you need a payment plan for groceries, the problem is not the groceries. The problem is that capitalism has entered your kitchen wearing shoes. Next, buying or leasing a brand new car in your 20s. This one is going to make people angry, which is fine. A car payment has already made them angry. I'm just giving it subtitles. Here is the truth. Most people in their 20s do not need a brand new car. They want one. And wanting one is perfectly human. Humans also want to eat cheese at midnight and text their ex. Not every instinct deserves funding. The problem with a new car is that it gives you the illusion that you have upgraded your life. But usually, what you upgraded was your monthly fixed expenses. You got a raise at work. Congratulations. Then immediately went to a dealership and handed the raise to a man named Brad who said, "Let me talk to my manager." And somehow the manager came back with a loan term longer than some presidential administrations. Now you have a $650 monthly payment, insurance that looks personally offended, and a car that lost value the moment you drove it off the lot. Amazing. A financial magic trick where the rabbit disappears and so does your net worth. The worst part is the justification. I need something reliable. Yes, that is why Toyota and Honda exist. They have been making boring, reliable cars for decades. Cars so practical they feel like they were designed by a school principal. But no, you needed the performance trim. Because apparently your commute to work required launch control. If you're in your 20s and your car payment is eating your investing money, your savings money, and your emergency fund money, that is not transportation. That is a 4-door financial parasite. Next, copying your friends. This is a classic. Your friend buys crypto. You buy crypto. Your friend leases a BMW. You consider leasing a BMW. Your friend says, "Bro, this stock is going to the moon." And suddenly, you are putting $800 into a company whose business model you learned about from a guy who once microwaved aluminum foil. Beautiful. The problem is that your friends are not you. They do not have your income. They do not have your expenses. They do not have your goals. And sometimes, they do not have basic pattern recognition. Your friend may be able to afford a $700 car payment because he lives with his parents, and his largest monthly expense is protein powder. You may have rent, utilities, student loans, and a refrigerator that contains one lemon and emotional tension. Do not copy people financially. Observe them, learn from them, and occasionally treat their decisions like a museum exhibit, interesting to look at, not something you bring home. If your friend gives you investment advice, do your own research. If your friend tells you to buy something, ask why.
Why? 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 Why?
If your friend says, "Trust me, bro," understand that this is not a financial thesis. This is usually the mating call of bankruptcy. Next up, co-signing. This one is simple. Do not do it.
What? We're flying to Philadelphia. Oh, hell no! Hell no! No!
Do not co-sign for your friend. Do not co-sign for your cousin. Do not co-sign for your coworker. Do not co-sign for a person who says, "I'm good for it," because if they were good for it, the bank would not be asking for your name. That is the entire plot. Co-signing means you are volunteering your credit score as tribute. Someone else gets the car, someone else gets the loan, someone else gets the benefit. And you get the privilege of being financially haunted if they stop paying. That is not generosity. That is becoming a side character in someone else's bad decision. People will make it emotional. Don't you trust me? That is not the question. The question is, why does a billion-dollar bank not trust you? And why am I being asked to disagree with the bank? At 24 years old? With $900 in savings? Absolutely not. Your financial life in your 20s is fragile. It is a baby deer on ice. Do not attach it to another person's loan. Courses are interesting because some are useful, and some are just a man in a rented mansion telling you how to escape the matrix for only $997.
I'm the guy you leave in the desert to die, and 2 days later I pull up at your house in a Lambo.
A legitimate course can help. A Google certificate, a professional certification, something related to your career. Fine. That can be an investment. But if a 23-year-old on Instagram is standing in front of a Lamborghini saying he can teach you options trading, drop shipping, crypto, AI automation, and masculine energy in one bundle, that is not education. That is theater. Very expensive theater. Most information is available online for free or cheap. You can learn budgeting, investing basics, taxes, job skills, Excel, data analytics, coding, negotiation, resume writing, all without paying a guru who speaks entirely in captions. Your network is your net worth.
Because I am a motherfucking cheater. I'm a cheater and I'm a liar.
Sir, your car is rented. Please relax. Before buying a course, ask, will this clearly improve my income or skills? Is the teacher actually qualified? Can I learn this for free? Is there a refund policy? And most importantly, is the sales page using too many pictures of watches? If yes, close the tab. Next, eating out too much and ordering food delivery. This one hurts because it is delicious. Nobody wants to hear that their Chipotle bowl is delaying retirement. But here we are. Eating out once in a while is fine. Food delivery once in a while is fine. But if your DoorDash driver knows your apartment gate code, your dog's name, and your emotional cycle, we have entered a different category. Food delivery is financial leakage disguised as convenience. The food is $14. Then there is a service fee, delivery fee, small order fee, convenience fee, existing fee, breathing near the app fee, then tip.
Huh?
Suddenly, your $14 burrito is $31.72 and somehow cold. Excellent. A premium experience. The worst part is you tell yourself, I didn't spend that much, because each order feels small. But small, repeated expenses are how your money quietly leaves the house without making eye contact. If you order food 4 times a week at $25 each, that is $100 a week, $400 a month, $4,800 a year. That is not a food habit. That is a used car wearing salsa. Next, not creating an emergency fund. This one is boring, which means it is important. An emergency fund is usually 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved somewhere safe, like a high-yield savings account. Not invested, not in crypto, not in a stock your friend said was undervalued. Cash. Boring, stable, emotionally unavailable cash. The reason you need an emergency fund is simple. Life does not care about your budget. Your car will break. Your job may disappear. Your laptop may die. Your tooth may suddenly decide it has a side quest. And if you do not have emergency savings, every inconvenience becomes a financial crisis. A $600 car repair with an emergency fund is annoying. A $600 car repair without one is a Greek tragedy with jumper cables. A lot of people in their 20s say, "I'm young, nothing will happen." That is adorable. Also false. Being young does not make you immune to layoffs, medical bills, car problems, or your landlord discovering the phrase market rent adjustment. Build the emergency fund. It is not exciting, but neither is panic. Next, gambling. Sports betting, casino apps, parlays, fantasy picks, whatever costume it wears this week. Gambling has become extremely normal in the US. You cannot watch a game anymore without being told to bet on whether a backup tight end will blink twice during the third quarter. Every app wants you to place a bet. Every influencer has a promo code. Every ad says, "Bet responsibly," which is corporate language for, "We legally warned you. Good luck, buddy." The problem with gambling is that it feels like strategy. You say things like, "I've studied the matchup." No, you watched 2 TikToks and now believe you understand probability. People always talk about their wins. Nobody posts, "Just lost $600 chasing a same-game parlay," feeling mathematically humbled. Gambling can start small, then you lose. Then you try to win it back. Then you lose more. Then you start saying things like, "I'm due." You are not due. The universe does not owe you a reimbursement because you picked the wrong over-under. For most people, especially in their 20s, gambling is not entertainment. It is a subscription to stress. Next, high-interest credit card debt. Credit cards are not evil. They are tools. But so is a chainsaw, and most people should not casually juggle one. Credit card interest in America is brutal. 20%, 25%, sometimes higher. At that point, it is less of a financial product and more of a legal mugging with reward points. The minimum payment is the trap. You see, minimum payment due, $35. And your brain says, "Nice, manageable." No, that is not a payment plan. That is a hamster wheel with APR. If you only make minimum payments, a $700 balance can follow you around for years like a financially literate ghost. You bought a jacket in 2024. You are still paying for it during the 2028 election cycle. That jacket better run for office. Use credit cards only if you can pay them off in full. The rewards are not worth it if you are paying interest. Getting 2% cash back while paying 24% interest is not hacking the system. That is the system using your skull as a conference room. Next, lifestyle creep. This is when your income goes up and your lifestyle immediately follows it like a very loyal but financially destructive dog. You get a raise. Instead of saving or investing more, you upgrade everything. Apartment, car, phone, restaurants, vacations, gym, clothes, coffee, even your toothpaste starts getting artisanal. And somehow, despite making more money, you are still broke. Incredible. A raise came in, looked around, and left through the back door. Lifestyle creep is dangerous because it feels deserved. I work hard. Yes, so do most adults. That does not mean every raise needs to be converted into leather seats and brunch. The goal is not to look richer every time you make more money. The goal is to actually become richer, quietly, boringly, without making your bank account cosplay as a celebrity. If you make $60,000 and live like you make $80,000, That is a problem. If you make $120,000 and live like you make $180,000, that is the same problem wearing a nicer jacket. Next, waiting to invest. This is one of the most expensive mistakes because it does not feel expensive when you are making it. You say, I'll start investing when I make more money. Then you make more money and say, I'll start after I pay off this thing. Then after that, I'll start once life calms down. Life does not calm down. Life simply changes costumes. At 22, it is rent and student loans. At 30, it is rent, wedding costs, kids, a mortgage, insurance, and a refrigerator that breaks because apparently it wants attention. The reason investing early matters is compound growth. Money needs time. A small amount invested in your 20s can become more powerful than a larger amount invested later. Not because you are a genius, because math is doing unpaid labor in the background. You do not need to be rich to start. You can start with $10, $25, $50. The amount matters less than the habit. The worst investment plan is waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is a myth invented by procrastination in a blazer. Next, not investing in a Roth IRA if you are eligible. A Roth IRA is one of the best tools young Americans have. You contribute after-tax money. It grows. And if you follow the rules, qualified withdrawals in retirement are tax-free, which is rare. The government usually does not say, keep the gains. That sentence should make you suspicious and excited. The magic of a Roth IRA is time. The earlier you start, the longer your money has to grow. And when you are young, time is your unfair advantage. You may not have money. You may not have stability. You may not have a couch that was purchased new. But you have time. Use it. Even small contributions matter. Open the account. Automate something. Treat it like a bill from future you, because future you will either thank you or stand in a Walmart aisle at 67 years old comparing tuna prices with quiet rage. Your choice. Next, subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Max, Prime, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Premium, gym membership, cloud storage, meal kit, meditation app, budgeting app. A second budgeting app because the first budgeting app was too expensive. We have created a society where everything is $9.99 until your bank account looks like it was attacked by mosquitoes. The worst part is companies know you will forget. That is the business model, not value. Forgetfulness. They want you to sign up during a free trial, then quietly pay for 14 months because canceling requires logging into an account you created with an email from 2016. Review your subscriptions. Cancel what you do not use. Rotate streaming services instead of paying for all of them forever. You are not the Library of Congress. You do not need every piece of content available at all times. Next, taking on student debt without a clear payoff. Student loans are not always bad. If you take on debt to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, nurse, accountant, or enter a field with strong income potential, that can make sense. But taking $120,000 of debt for a degree with unclear job prospects is not brave. It is a very expensive trust fall into gravel. The question is not, is college worth it? The question is this college at this price for this degree likely to produce enough income to justify the debt? That is less inspirational, but it is more useful. Prestige is expensive, and Sally Mae does not accept vibes. Before taking student debt, check expected salaries. Look at job placement. Compare cheaper schools. Consider community college. Consider scholarships. Consider whether the name on the diploma matters in your actual field. Because a $40,000 degree and a $180,000 degree can sometimes lead to the same cubicle. One just comes with more emotional seasoning. Finally, treating your 20s like a free trial. This is the big one. A lot of people think, I'm young, I'll fix it later. That sounds comforting. It is also how people wake up at 31 with no savings, credit card debt, a car loan, and a LinkedIn profile that still says aspiring. Your 20s are not throwaway years. They are foundation years. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to become a millionaire. You do not need to wake up at 4:30 a.m., drink raw eggs, and journal next to a window. Please don't. But you should build basic systems. Save something. Invest something. Avoid dumb debt. Learn a skill. Build your income. Protect your credit. Stop financing things that lose value and give you anxiety.
Stop it. Get some help.
Your 20s are powerful because mistakes are still fixable, but that does not mean mistakes are free. They charge interest, usually monthly.
So that is the list. The biggest financial mistakes in your 20s. Some are small, some are serious. Some are just America quietly asking, would you like to split this disaster into 4 interest-free payments? The main lesson is simple. You do not need to be rich in your 20s. You just need to stop helping your future problems reproduce. Build an emergency fund. Avoid high-interest debt. Do not co-sign. Do not gamble. Do not buy a car just because your raise gave you confidence. Invest early. Live below your means. And please, for the love of your checking account, check your subscriptions. If this video helped you, hit like. Subscribe if you want more financial content delivered with the emotional warmth of a DMV employee explaining compound interest. And share this with one friend who says, it's only $27 a month, because that person is in danger. Peace.